Hot Springs Village Inside Out is a closer look at the greatness of Hot Springs Village, Arkansas and the surrounding areas. People, places, experiences. Hot Springs Village is one of the most beautiful places on earth. Join me, Randy Cantrell, and my co-host Dennis Simpson as we engage in weekly conversations to explore Hot Springs Village Inside Out. Today's show is brought to you by Central Arkansas's favorite radio station, KVRE. Find them on the dial at 92.9 FM. Stream them live at kvre.com. RE/MAX of Hot Springs Village. The award-winning RE/MAX of Hot Springs Village is the largest real estate office inside the village with over 30 full-time agents and support staff. Visit them to learn more about this beautiful place to solve your real estate needs. Call them today at 1-800-364-9007. Find them online at explorehsv.com. They are RE/MAX of Hot Springs Village at 1-800-364-9007 or online at explorehsv.com. Ike Eisenhower State Farm. Ike and his award-winning team have been serving the insurance needs of folks all around Hot Springs Village since 1998. Ike has qualified for State Farm's President's Club, Chairman's Circle, and Hot Springs Village Insurance Agent of the Year. Call Ike Eisenhower State Farm today at 501-984-4100. That's 501-984-4100. Find them online at ikeeisenhower.net. Call them today for all your insurance needs because, like a good neighbor, Ike Eisenhower State Farm is there.
Dennis Simpson, Hot Springs Village, Inside Out, and some wonderful guests today, some of my favorite people, Bob and Connie Shoemaker and Miss Clara Nicolosi. Clara, it seems like you're everywhere. I mean, you're at the townhome, you're at the, what is the deal? What are you with today?
I am here today with the Hot Springs Village Community Foundation, and I am so honored to be here with Bob and Connie Shoemaker to talk about just a wonderful giving opportunity that has been set up for our community on behalf of their family.
I tell you what, before we go much further at all, I want to pull up the page real quick, have that pulled up. It's arcf.org. And you would apply for scholarships there. And we'll go into this in a minute, but it's the Hot Springs Village. It's the Arkansas Community Foundation, but the Hot Springs Village has a chapter. How does that work, Clara? What is the part of that?
Well, here in Hot Springs Village, we are one of 29 affiliates of the state level Arkansas Community Foundation. And here in our beautiful Hot Springs Village, we actually are the holder of 41 endowments, and the Shoemaker Endowment is one of the many. And it is, we talked earlier about smart giving to improve our communities. Well, this generous family has done smart giving to help out our wonderful POA folks. And so we are actually in a scholarship timeframe for applications for the upcoming school year. The Shoemakers have generously given to this project, and we are seeking out eligible POA employees and their children and such for scholarships. And that's why we're here today.
Bob, why and how did you set this up? What happened?
Well, my previous wife, now deceased, was Norma. And back in 2009 and 10, we were talking about doing something. And our motivation behind this was that Norma came from a Southern Illinois family who did not believe girls back in the 1930s and 40s should go to college. And so she never had that opportunity, even though she was an honor student in high school. And then I had I was with on the POA board for almost 7 years, 4 years as vice president and president. And during that time, I came to know our POA employees rather well. I had went with the general manager many times to employee meetings just to get to meet them. And so as a result, Norma and I talked and realized that here was something we wanted to give back to our community, and that I was familiar with the endowment process because I was a member of the board at that time of the Hot Springs Village Community Foundation. And so Norma and I set up an endowment took us several years to fund it to the level where it could be eligible to pay off scholarships. But now for almost 10 years straight, we've been able to provide scholarships to relatives of POA employees, and we're just thrilled at that.
Well,
And I'm thrilled that Connie now has bought into that idea. As I say, Norma passed away in 2012, and Connie and I got married in 2013, and she immediately said, "That's a good idea. I'm thrilled for it."
And Connie, what was your background with this?
My background is that I'm a retired nurse, and so there was no problem for me getting an education at the time. And the thing that impresses me most is that a lot of the scholarships we've given are people that are going into healthcare, which is wonderful.
Yeah. Clara, you had mentioned a little earlier, and we were talking about potential recipients and so forth, that one of the policeman's children, how was that?
Yeah, one of our newer police officers, I believe it was, actually had triplets, and one of the triplets applied and was awarded. And I just thought that was interesting. They all three were eligible, I'm assuming, but one of them graciously took us up on our offer and made the application.
Well, I want to make note, because I know this, we have a 5 mile high and a 500-foot high view, and I want to give the 5 mile high view. And I want to say a name that people would go, huh? If you know of Bobby Bones, pretty recognizable name.
By all means.
Yeah, by the #1 disc jockey in the United States. He started in Mountain Pine, Arkansas. And on Dancing with the Stars, he said his proudest moment was when he graduated high school, because he was the first one in his family that had ever graduated high school. And we know in an area like this, and to be frank, the village, define it how you wish, but it is a more affluent as opposed to less affluent community. And as such, we're in an area with one unbelievable beauty, but it's not the same for everybody, right, Bob?
That's right. And many of our employees do not live in the village. They live in Jesseville and Fountain Lake and Mountain Pine and surrounding communities, yet they're part of our family because they work here. And so that's, I think that's where it's really needed. And in fact, I don't recall that we've ever given a scholarship to at this point, not that they couldn't get it, but that any of the recipients have ever lived in Hot Springs Village.
Really?
No, we had one that lived in Russellville, but really? he was the son of a grandson, I think, of a POA employee.
Let's go back to the word you used, because I really like it. You said family. I have interviewed Kelly Hale, Ken Unger, Jason Temple. I can go down the list. Every one of them. Oh, goodness. Lakes director, Todd Knowles. Every one of these people talks about the family of the POA workers. It's not a job to these people. This is their family, right?
Very much so. And I just think that we as a village residents need to recognize that, because they're the people that are helping us and serving us every day. And that's part of our family.
I just got through doing an interview with Ken Unger, who was a gracious guy. He's our public works director and the engineer. And I was telling him about a Take 5 I had done a few months back, and it hadn't been played that much. But Diane and I were driving down the road. We literally look over, and there's a police officer standing on the side of the road. And this lady is just giving him the what for. And you know how things, I don't know, I say this, sometimes things just blurt out of my mouth like eggs out of chicken's butt. Well, okay, maybe not exactly like that, but they just come right out. And Diane had one of these moments, and she said, "You couldn't pay me." And I thought, you're right. Yeah, you're right. And Ken said the same thing about the sanitation workers, the sewer workers. You know, when the sewer line breaks at 3 a.m. or the water line breaks at 3 a.m. and it's 23 degrees outside, we don't go, well, we'll see you about 8. No, they're literally in the ditches with car tarts on, and they're digging up ditches at 2:30 in the morning with flashlights and freezing their butts off so that we can have water at 8 a.m. Yep. It doesn't work that way, does it, Bob? No, it doesn't. And that's why we're just thrilled to do this. And I guess I just want to be sure everybody understands,
you don't have to be wealthy to have an endowment. I just worked for the Boy Scouts all my life, but I give a little bit here and a little bit there, and we were able to make the funding level has to get $10,000 in order for the scholarship to be first awarded. And the reason we got to that level was that Norma passed away in 2012, and as a result, there were so many memorials and given in her honor, and we had them all given to this particular cause. We specified that in her obituary, and so that kicked it up to over the 10,000 mark, and then I contribute a sum every year, and as a result, it's gotten up there. And the scholarships that we are awarding this year will be $1,100.
Bob, let me just cut to the chase. It's all about priorities. Is that fair?
Yes, very much so.
Amen.
Giving to me is a priority. That's part of why I'm here, and is to give back. And that giving back means not just in your time, but also in your money.
I personally believe 7 years on the POA board would be giving. Yeah, that would be an understatement. I had a root canal planned, but I went ahead and joined the POA board instead. So
it was back in my day, that was not near the problem.
Well, I appreciate it. You didn't have as much social media. That's what it was.
That's the truth. That is
the truth, isn't it, Connie?
Yes, absolutely.
Well, so Clara, where do we go from here? What's the solution? 41 endowments? What do we need? What do we need to do? Where does it go?
Well, let's finish up with the Shoemaker Scholarship, because I just want to remind folks that the application process is now, and it opened up on February 10th, and we're going to February 1st. It goes through till April 10th, and the website you pulled up earlier, that arcf.org. If they go there and they push on, I believe it was the students button.
Yep.
And then they go down in the student button, and it says apply for scholarships. You actually have to create an account if you want to apply for a scholarship, because it's your private information. It'll be secure, and that's how you get the process started. And here's what we need. We need, if you're not a POA employee or a family member listening, tell someone on the POA or someone that you work with closely with the POA that they need to be applying, because we have to follow IRS rules, and we have to have multiple applications, or we can't even process it. And, we were very dismayed several years ago because we were unable to use the scholarship money because we didn't have enough applications. And that's really why we're here today.
And I want to make note, as the vice chair president of the computer club, I am, and I do mean honored, I am honored to be able to go to the award programs for Fountain Lake and Mountain Pine and for Jessieville. And if you want to be moved and know what our next generation of youth looks like, come with me to one of these award ceremonies. It is stunning, stunning. We will have kids from Jessieville that will stand up with $250,000 worth of scholarships. And these are stellar. You don't look at these kids and go, I wonder where our future is. You look at these kids and go, how do I get on board with you? You are rocking it. How do you do that?
Absolutely.
Well, so the point is, come to arcf.org, go to students, click the scholarship portal right down here at the bottom.
No, you have to go to Hot Springs Village. After you get on ARCF, you have to go to
the Hot Springs Village Community Foundation.
Community Foundation first.
Right. So, Clara, if we have any questions, who would we send those questions to, Clara?
Absolutely. Would love for you to call our executive director, Jane Browning. And let me give you that phone number here in the village, 501-372-1146. And her email address, pretty easy, hotspringsvillage@arcf.org.
And ARCF stands for Arkansas Community Foundation.org. What was that number again? 501-372
1146.
1146. I tell you what, it has absolutely been a pleasure. Clara, I don't know how many times a day I can interview you, but I enjoy it.
Well, I'm just want to reiterate, I'm honored to be here with both you, Dennis, and the Shoemakers for all that they continue to do in our community. And here's fingers crossed, we get plenty of applications and plenty of great people who are seeking out that college education for next year.
Well, I want to say that it's easy to do it because of the example that Clara, you and your organization REMAX set for us. You all set the bar very high in this community, and we deeply appreciate that.
Sincerely, I echo that. Yes, and I want to make note. Let me, Bob. I can't express. You said you had worked for the Boy Scouts. I want to make this expressly clear. This is not, pardon the term, rich people. I'm using air quotes. These are common people who have saved up funds because it's a priority, right, Bob?
That's right.
And you set these funds up, Clara. We have 41 endowments. There's no limit. We could have another 45, right?
We would love to. We would love to have more endowments. We'd love to have more smart giving in our community. Absolutely. Or to continue to grow the ones that we have. Could always check out the affiliate page at the arcf.org and see what's out there. You might want to contribute. Great way to give a gift to someone or a thank you to someone and give to your favorite endowment.
And you could, I guess you could set up an endowment for arts if you wanted to encourage arts or whatever, right, Clara?
You could do just about anything. I don't want to take any time away from the Shoemakers, but I'm literally working with some family members to set up an endowment for a small community cemetery in my hometown. Oh,
really?
In Florida.
In Florida. Wow.
Right here in Hot Springs Village.
And if you think that's a over there thing, let me remind you that just over my shoulder is the Cortez Gate, and just outside that gate is the Beaudry Cemetery that has the exact same challenges. There's a lot of smaller churches, smaller cemeteries, that kind of thing, that just need to be funded. What a wonderful way, Clara.
Well, I can't take credit. Carolyn Bowers set that path in motion because she started one for a small community library that her mother enjoyed later in her mother's life. So I was like, well, and that's in Missouri. I'm like, well, we were trying to figure out a way to protect this cemetery in Florida, and this seems the most direct path.
So Diane and I had the opportunity to go to the Biltmore. My grandmother had always raved, my deceased grandmother had always raved about the Biltmore, and we were in Gatlinburg, and I said, well, let's just drive over. And Diane's like, well, I guess, okay. We got there and she was like, do we have to leave? This is the most amazing place on the planet. It was several thousand acres, and it was this unbelievable home built by the rich families. And it's not lost on me that they built the Biltmore and lived there less than 10 years before taxes literally forced them to move and sell and turn it into basically a museum. Mm-hmm. The community foundation, if you don't have a lot of funds and you want to direct your funds to a great little area, isn't that a good way to do this, Clara?
That's a great way to do it. A great way to do it. And some other interesting opportunities is we have what's called a Keep 5 in Arkansas. And you can literally, in your estate planning, just work with your estate planner, whether it's IRAs or stocks, bonds, houses, real estate, whatever. And you can elect to have 5% of whatever that might be in that time in your life, stay right here with the Hot Springs Village Community Foundation and direct where that's going. Great program. There's just some great programs out there.
501-372
1146.
1146. Great having you, Bob, Connie, Clara. Thanks again.
Thanks, Dennis.
All right. Bye-bye.
Thanks for watching and listening to Hot Springs Village Inside Out, a weekly podcast starring Hot Springs Village, Arkansas. Visit the website at hotspringsvillageinsideout.com.